And good afternoon, friends. Just take a peek. Yes, the recording has started. I learned the hard way. Double check and make sure. If it doesn't show flashing red on my phone, I know I haven't started it. I missed the button one day and just touched the screen and nothing happened. Today, I'd like to share with you a little bit about something different. A pot. Big deal, right? Well, give me a moment, we'll get back to it. Oh, that coffee is good. I don't know if it shows, and no, I guess it doesn't show in the... Okay, for Mark Young and those who are purists and like their coffee black, it is, and it's got half of the stevia that I normally use. Today I'd like to talk to you about what I'm considering now to be maybe the best choice for me for means of cooking for my Bugout bag. See, what in the world for? There's all kinds of stoves you got. Yeah, I do. Not as many as some of you guys have got, because I've seen videos that fellas have definitely have more in use than I do. But anyway, the pot, here it is right here, and originally I had wanted a 1.1 liter. This is the MSR Seagull, made in Thailand. That's okay. I understand. We're not going to hold it against the Thai people. Okay, what do I like about it? Well, first off, the latch. I like to have the lid stay on the pot. I've seen people doing reviews, and and the pot, the lid doesn't sit on there well. And this one does sit on there well anyway. Okay, so I like that. I like the fact that it's tied down. The handle actually clicks down and stays there. Now, I guess if it's a roaring fire, the handle might get hot. Might have to wear a pair of gloves or use a stick to hook it and slide it out of the coals. Okay, let's open up and see what we got. Now, I learned something just this week. The lid. You'll note it's not. I'll hold it like this so you can see better. That lid is not flat. No. One guy said he had no problem at all cooking on it. Now I can see that with the stoves that are using three-legged supports and even four for that little latch at the top to go down in. And what do we have inside? Well, it is an economy cookset. And I'm going to move the pot forward out of the way, put the lid back on because I don't need it for a bit. Okay, this is one of the many Oriental Chinese-made cooksets. This one I ordered specifically from China. Now you say, why in the world would you order it from China when Amazon's got it? And you're right. The reason was Amazon wasn't offering it with this. In other words, you can sit that little tin cup on top of it, as I am with my better take a look, and you can't see that anyway. Okay, so a small metal cup, you can sit on it, no problem. The thermos little cook pot, it comes with the 2 cups in it. It'll sit on top of it, no problem, and I've done it. Okay, I'll move the coffee out of the way. So that's why I ordered it direct from the factory, knowing it was going to take a month, and I wasn't in a particular panic at the time. It got here in lots of time for me to take it south with me to California for my winter holiday. Okay, now as you notice, it's got some stuff in it. Okay, at first I didn't think it was going to even fit in that saucepan, but it does. Okay, I'm going to lift out the lid. There we go. It's stuck, so we'll take it out. Now, I know that there's newer versions that instead of having these things, I'll call them legs for lack of anything better, they work fine. Now, I also came to realize, and I've not seen anybody mention it, remember those small sized cups? This cup will sit on it if you tip them in. Now, The problem with that, of course, is you got to be careful of what's sticking out the bottom, right? So anyway, for me, that's a good deal. I realize the newer ones, some of them have got the 3 legs, and some of them are cut out so you can feed sticks in more readily. Understand that. Okay, next. Cheap at any price, right? There's nothing worse than wet matches. And this one, what I did was I did not put Strike Anywheres in. I am going to be obtaining, next time I go to Mountain Equipment Co-op, you got to buy something, right? So what I've put in here is a striker and some of these guys that you guys are all familiar with, I hope. Anyway, windproof, rainproof, snowproof, every proof. That thing burns and you can't put it out. But you've only got as long as you that much to burn, so you still have to work quickly. I know. Anyway, matter of fact, you'll notice it rattles. There's one missing, but that's okay. Whoops, let's put her back in. This is for when you really are desperate, in my opinion, and I can see where I'm going to have fun getting the striker back in, so I'm going to sit it aside for now. Okay, that's to be used if I really got to, and there's a small bug we can get rid of. Okay, I light my fire. I wouldn't fit in the package that I was putting together, so I put it in here. Or sorry, I should say a wet fire. Memory's sort of a blank, I guess, today. Anyway, I like the fact that you leave it sealed and it's good. That you can scrape off some powder and ignite it with a spark and you're good. Next thing, and I tried these, the package of these out. I had 2 packs. Diamond brand Strike Anywhere matches with strikers on the sides. Now, last Saturday I recorded cooking with the Nano. If you remember, I used a rock that was in the gravel on the road just to see if it really would. In the good old days, there was no problem. But in the good old days, the matches, I think, were probably 20% thicker stems. About the same length, maybe a bit longer, and a fatter head on them. They did burn longer. Okay, so I keep that in there. Now, from last Saturday, okay, some of you may not have seen it. This is my creation, and I haven't got around to making the updated version with paraffin wax rubbed in first and then putting it. This is straight paraffin. Sorry, and I was thinking of petroleum jelly, like to rub in as we do in our cotton balls. So, ladies' makeup kit thing. It's not going to bend unless you really want it to. I find most times I can use a quarter of one, and normally I have to cut it with my knife, because it is a fiber, but it's so impregnated with the stuff that oh well. That's a text coming in from a buddy out in Winnipeg, and that can wait. Okay, so there we are. That's what I put in it, and that thing is going to ding at me. Okay, as other people have mentioned, the dish, and yeah, for sure, this dish would work just fine with tablets in it. It would work just fine putting the blue gel in it out of the cans. More of a warming thing to me, or keeping something warm. But anyway, it came with it, and as you can see, it's unburnt. It's got some rust on the bottom, but that's it. Okay, now we move down, and yeah, I was really concerned that I was going to get the pot in there. I do like the pot's bag. Now, it does not have a closed in at the bottom or something like that, like some do. That's fine. I look at it, okay, the soot can come out through the bag. So this one has been cleaned because I had to. Mark Young said, Ted, I used sandpaper, and so I resorted to it. The inner basket, I'll call it. Okay, now It's great. This is an imitation of an American product at about a third the price, so it's not too bad. This one is a LIXADA. LIXADA makes them. The earlier version, LIXADA, was much taller and had a hole in it that you could feed wood through, but this one does not. Okay, we have, of course, the dual the liner inside the outer there, so you have an air space going up. We have the holes that allow air to come out, and with that comes out the wood gas. Sits on top, and that's a good fit. Where I had problems was this guy was sticking, and there. Now the one thing I think I am going to do is get myself an aluminum plate, maybe, or a heavier aluminum than I have aluminum foil in the house right now, and make probably a square, whether it's 2, 3, or 4 thicknesses of heavier duty aluminum foil to keep it from any sparks coming on the ground. The original American product has a guard that prevents that, and I think that's a good idea. It works good for me. As you can see, it has been burnt. I used it in California quite a bit. I've used it here, and I dug it out because tonight I'm going to be using it as part of making supper. I'm not going to drag you along for that because my company hasn't arrived yet, and so there's no sense in starting a meal if your guests are not there. But I wanted to share it with you and show you how I wanted to try it. Now I'm cheating a little bit. I'm going to use softer pieces. I wanted to see if my measurement was right using a hand grip. And okay, not too bad. Let's see if we can get one down the center. Actually, let's go to this hardwood piece, and see if we can get it down the center. Okay, so my measurements in this bucket, as you can see, are pretty good. It's not too bad at all. So that, because they say you should not cover the holes, and I've only got one piece that really covers the holes. Okay, now where other folks will use other products, and of course, no, I didn't bring a knife along, so there will be that for that little bit. But anyway, I am going to be using a piece of this stuff, and like I said, I doubt if it will tear or anything else. When I put things in the house, okay, it broke just fine. So I'm going to be coming up with twigs out of the bucket and this, and we'll see what we can do. I'm going to pause this for now until I get a handful of twigs out. Welcome back. Well, it's been a busy afternoon here around the house. The phone has been ringing and everything else while we were on our, we'll call it our commercial break, even though there was no commercial. Anyway, I've loaded those 5 pieces, and they should burn quite quickly. The one in the center less quickly. Okay, so I'm going to ignite it. I've got some sticks here and I can get more out of the bin. And look at that. Wonderful strike anywhere matches. Just because the last time it worked perfectly. Okay. Okay. We do have some flame there. It fell down inside. Oh well. Hopefully these twigs will be enough to get us started. If not, I will be embarrassed. And that's okay. We'll all get a laugh out of it. Yeah. Once that paraffin catches, it does take off pretty good, doesn't it? Okay. Now, while we were closed down or shut off, I brought a different pot out for my camping kit that holds more. Holds a whole bunch more. And this is an MSR, and I don't see a name on it. I'm going to say it's a liter and a half, probably closer to 2 liters. It will hold this stove kit, plus it'll hold one of their bowls. This came with 2 bowls. So, in that regards, does good. I'm just going to see if this is going to make my life interesting for me or not. And I think probably this will be enough. Okay. Move the pot a little bit, and I'm going to sit back out of the smoke. I'm going to see if I can get this on. Yes, it's held up a little bit by the wood, but that's okay. I find in the past that doing that, it tends to get the air movement going better. And we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to put any pot on there yet. Look at this. It knows where I am, and isn't that the way of it? I'm hoping to see all kinds of good stuff happen here, but we never know, do we? I might as well throw this match in, right? It wasn't good for much. That's the problem with the modern things. I know I found that there's other products that years of old work well for long periods of time, and not so much anymore. Now, I did not bring out anything to lift the lid with or any of that kind of stuff, but anyway, as we can see, the amount of smoke is going down, and there are flames sneaking up. And I think yeah, I'm going to lift it up and sit it on top of the wood pile. Let this thing get burning better. Okay, once it gets burning, we'll get back to you. Meanwhile, continue. We will. Well, welcome back. As you can see, the smoke is no longer in my eyes. Most of the small stuff on top has burnt down. You'll also notice, use a pointer, not my finger, here, the tips are burnt rather well. The gasification jets have been working on them, as well as around on this side over here. It's the flames from the gasification jets are actually working on those logs, which if you recall, I did not split them or anything like that. So that's moving along quite well. It's time, I think, we can put this back on, because there, now it sits properly down, and yeah, you can see the flames. I can see them from here, especially coming out those jets and right up, working exceptionally well. Okay, so I'm going to put this pot on. Goodness, and I can't really time it with the watch because the phone. No, because we're recording and I don't want to do anything to stop that. Okay, so this pot, as you can see, it's already grubby. Numerous campfires, and I've pre-measured into it water for making scalloped potatoes. It'd be interesting. I've never done them before. I bought a package, and you have to add butter and scalloped potatoes to the water, hopefully they'll turn out well, especially when I have company coming, right? We don't want to poison somebody. Anyway, I'll stick that back. I'll clean things up a little bit. Anyway, thought I'd let you see this stove in action, and as you can see, it is doing well. I know a great number of people use them, and I debated whether or not to use my IKEA hobo stove or not. I made videos last year that never did get posted because I couldn't do anything with them and I didn't like the way they turned out. So anyway, so this is my LIXADA, and I'm not going to say which version are released because obviously they have more than one, because I've seen the ones, like I say, with a different top on them. This one fits in my saucepan beautifully. This is the saucepan right here. The MSRC go it's 775 milliliters. You don't need to go bigger than that. This stove, all winter I used it for my cook pot most of the time in my camper down south in the desert, because I didn't need the big pot that was in the camper. And so there you go. Anyway, it makes a good pair, and unless I come up with something or somebody has a really better suggestion for keeping my Bugout Bag light and providing what I need for it, I'd like to hear from you on that one. I look forward to hearing from you at any time. Just put a comment, and I'd be glad to hear from you. If you subscribe, I'd appreciate that. If you would give any helpful hints and thumbs up, I'd always appreciate. So with that, I'm going to wish you a good day from Paradise Village here in eastern Manitoba, where we might get rain, we might not, and it doesn't matter. It's too nice a day to spend sitting in the house or you know, wandering about the mall. So I'm going to be right here with my pot, and look forward to talking to you another time real soon. Bye for now. Okay, now you can see the pot is boiled and have lots of heat coming through. You can see the jets. Yeah, that is what I like to see. Okay, thought I'd just add that as an afterthought. No problem at all with that old wood. Just have to let the thing burn out now. Take care, everybody. Look forward to hearing from you soon. Ted's clear.